Good morning and welcome back to another session of weekly review of Indian equity markets. We've had a interesting week. As we go deeper into the session today, we'll understand how the week unfolded and specific impact of policy on markets and select segments of the market. So what you see in front of you is a chart of Nifty 50. And before we actually go into the review, let me give the standard disclaimer that I'm not a SEBI registered investment advisor. As I keep saying that I keep doing this weekly review to read the price action of the markets and more importantly, create a journal of my thoughts, which helps me to kind of assess what I was thinking as the market closed and what possibly can play out over the next what should be the action course of action uh, and accordingly kind of take certain calls when the market is in the play, because typically what happens is when the market is in play and you have mixed emotions that you have to deal with. So going back and seeing such kind of review or such kind of journal helps you to kind of anchor back and do the right thing. So with that, let's get into the review. This week markets closed higher by close to 1% as far as Nifty is concerned, and Bank Nifty again had a similar kind of closing. What we see here in front of us is a weekly chart of of Nifty, and clearly with the kind of buying pressure that we have seen, Nifty is taken out the downward trending slope line. Nifty is also has moved above 50 DMA and also has moved about previously marked regions of support and resistance. So this was the major resistance zone that we were talking about, and we have clearly taken this out. And we've taken this out on back of decent candles and good volumes. What we are seeing here is two decent size wicks, and this has come right at this very strong resistance zone. So So we'll we'll have to kind of let the Nifty deal with this resistance zone to start with, or the way to think about it is, can Nifty is this a lower high that Nifty is forming and then we see another downward move? So so that possibility also is opens up. But having said that, let's allow the Nifty to kind of show its move. We've seen a sharp upward move of close to 3.5% at this point of time, after retracing by close to 6.5, 6.75, 6.8% during this session or this cycle. We are not out of woods, but it's advantage bulls very clearly as far as Nifty is concerned. Yeah. So let Nifty kind of stabilize here, and if Nifty is able to take out this resistance zone uh, after some bit of stability trying, or after some bit of consolidation in this range, it will be good news, and we will definitely see additional upward move, and we will definitely take out the previous high, which is 20,200 approximately, and see where we head into. But that's the broad call as far as or that's a broad take as far as Nifty is concerned. On a daily chart, as you see, candles are looking pretty decent there. There's nothing wrong with any of these candles. So Monday we opened higher, but then we closed down. But the shape of the candle and size of the candle is nothing to kind of panic or worry about. And then we had a good strong. I think Tuesday we were off, and then on back of positive sentiment in global markets, we opened up strong on Tuesday, and while we retained the positive opening, but both open and close, the body of the candle was just okay, just about okay. But essentially, we took out 50 DMA and took a support at 50 DMA, and have now kind of consolidated or trying to consolidate in this place. So this is not a bad region at all, or bad. This is nothing negative. We'll have to kind of keep looking at the market action from here. But this is first leg of stabilization, or a step in the right direction is how I would kind of treat this. If we consolidate here, we the possibility opens up for much higher move. and we'll have to be aware of that move. So looking back at some a basic back test says that we are still in consolidation zone. There's a possibility that we may consolidate some more in this region and then then probably break out. But markets are markets. We have to stay with the markets rather than trying to uh, impose our theory and thesis on the market. So this is what Nifty is. I'm positive about Nifty, and we'll see as to how things play out here. Uh, so right now the bias is positive, but we are in no man's land. If it consolidates here, does not take breach this pivot, in fact, if it consolidates, tests out this region, and then tries to make some decent candles here, possible trade will open up and risk reward will move much more in your favor rather than trying to jump into a trade right here. If one were to kind of trend jump into a trade here, then they have to be aware of the fact that risk reward, the stop losses are going to be slightly deep. So this is as far as Nifty is concerned. Now let's look at the major component of Nifty. Let's look at Bank Nifty. This is where we had major action in the week, including the policy action. So on a weekly chart, this is how Nifty looks like. We have moved about 200 day moving average with this up leg move, and in fact, this up leg is close to almost 5.5% after a correction of close to 10%, which is positive this week. Now let's move to daily candles. So in a jiffy, Bank Nifty tried to move higher. Let me remove this marking. Bank Nifty, after testing out and possibly breaching 200 DMA, we have tried to move higher. But look at some divergence. This is something that I could notice, that as we were trying to move higher, and it's a decent move in terms of percentage gain, right? If you were to look at something like this distance that we moved close to 5%, and but the problem is we moved on the back of, these are not good candles. There's nothing positive about any of these candles, and look at the volume. So there's a clear divergence. While Nifty is right, Bank Nifty has moved higher. We have moved higher on back of very very minor volumes. You can forget about this. This is a Diwali candle, Muhurat Day candle. So let's leave this alone. But if you see, we moved higher on back of candles which have no essence or no element of positive bias. So this is not a great news. And when I convert this from 200 to 50 DMA, what I saw is convergence of previous resistance and 50 DMA. So we've halted this move exactly at 50 DMA, and we have come come down sharply. Thursday is when we had RBI governor coming out, or RBI came out, and they issued a circular saying that the risk weight of unsecured loans uh, has gone higher, which means the capital adequacy ratio of banks have have to be higher, which means that the banks which are not so well capitalized, or banks which were just about at the margin, will have to really relook at their lending programs, the unsecured lending programs, and accordingly recalibrate their strategy as they go forward. Now, this played out on banks and more importantly NBFC. So that's a chart that even I didn't see properly. But yeah, so again, in case of NBFC, look at the candles, and then this is 50 DMA, and we've kind of halted here. So on a NBFC chart is not looking as bad, but on weekly basis we've tested 200 DMA and we tried to move higher, but these are not so great candles. This is the previous resistance. We can draw something like this as a resistance zone, and we've kind of corrected right from 50 DMA and the slope of 50 DMA. So this is one 50 DMA rejection. This is second 50 DMA rejection. So both banks and finance are not in a great phase, but finance, if it kind of stabilizes here and then tries to move higher, it can be, it would have the required material and buying power to kind of start moving higher. So this is specific to do with the broad index, which is Nifty, and the major component of Nifty, which is Nifty Bank and Nifty Finance. Now let's look at other important components. FMCG is in a beautiful space. It is consolidating in this region. Remove all this thing. So for the week, FMCG had a decent closure, almost 1% closure, which is in line with what Nifty and Bank Nifty did. But look at the way it is consolidating. It's far away from, it's some distance away from 200-day moving average. Let's convert this from 200 to 50-day moving average. So we've now gone above 50-day moving average, and we are kind of testing out this resistance zone. As we take out this resistance zone, we'll be in a great space. I think it's definitely advantage FMCG. Now let's look at auto, which is doing things which are very very different than any of the broad market indexes. It's making a higher high with every passing day, and nowhere it is showing any sign of weakness. It kind of consolidates and then moves up. It consolidated here and then moved higher. It is consolidated here and again moved higher. So it's advantage autos, and the beauty is that this is happening on back of good move. So you look at M&M. We'll look at few of these sector contributors once we finish the broad indices. But look at this. This is advantage auto. Let's look at another sector which has broken out and which is doing all the positive things, which is pharma. So pharma on a weekly chart formed a flag, and it has taken out this flag with in style, and we are definitely up for good time. And if you see this entire pharma move, nobody has been speaking about pharma. The 30%, 26% move in pharma. Now, even if you were to kind of recalibrate this to this breakout zone, we're still talking about 15% move in pharma, and this is a clear breakout. This is a clean, definite clean breakout, and we are moving higher with every passing week. So, very now last week when we reviewed the market, we clearly mentioned two things. One is that within bank indices, there's a clear dichotomy. The large cap banks, especially the top four banks, which is Nifty, which is ICICI, HDFC, Kotak, and SBI, were lagging. And the smaller banks are moving up, and that is something which is weighing down on not only Bank Nifty, but it is also kind of has put a lid on Nifty's up move. Let's look at IT. Yeah. So this is another sector which is doing all the right things, and it's yet to see the strong rub off that Nifty Nasdaq is showing. But look at the way this consolidation has played out since April 22, and we've definitely made a lower higher low, and then we are if we take out this zone or more of 34,500 zone, we are going to we can have a very very good outing as far as Nifty IT is concerned, and this is something that we've been talking about for a while now. We've been talking about this since all this consolidation was playing out, or since consolidation in this range was playing out. Look at the strength candles. It's clearly printing good strength candles, and whenever it is correcting, the candles, two candles are widening, no doubt about it. But it looks much more positive than negative when you look at this chart, in terms of the color and size of the candles. So this is another sector which is doing well. Then we spoke about services and possibilities in services. Now this is something that we were thinking of when service sector was trying to break out here, and then it failed at this resistance zone. So let's see. So this is again advantage services, no doubt about it. And if Nifty IT were to do well, services will automatically kind of take it will take services sector as well into a much more positive frame. Look at consumption; it's broken out again and it's doing well. We covered FMCG, pharma, consumption. Uh, Infra is another sector which is doing all the right things. Another breakout here. So I think it's Bank Nifty which is kind of holding back Nifty. Or else most of the other sectors have now turned positive, and Bank Nifty being such a large contributor to the index itself, and more importantly the sentiment of the index, that we are yet to see uh, uh, we are yet to see kind of that positive positive sentiment prevailing in the market. We are still kind of have that doubt lingering in mind, and mind you, it's not for no reason. It's because of the fact that the leader of the market is kind of still trying to find its feet. We'll come to. Uh, we wanted to look at. Let's look at PSU Bank. It was doing well. It's kind of trying to form another pivot, and it's not a great candle. This week we obviously with what is with the RBI mandate or circular which is coming, it's PSU banks which will again see some bit of pressure because they have their books. While they are not big on personal loans, but I think the given the fact that their capital adequacy ratio has always been being challenged, and they have always sought support from the government. So a few of these banks will actually have to recalibrate their overall lending program, and also a few of these banks will have to quickly go out and start raising capital from the market. So that is where we are. But in all this up and down move, few indices. So this is Nifty 500, which is printed a nice wide range candle. A pivot is formed here. Uh, and it's again started moving up. It's three white soldiers as far as this structure of the market looks like. So 500 is in good space, and the reason why 500 is in good space is because of the fact that you have mid cap, which has made an all-time high this week, and these are good solid wide range candles. You have small cap, which is again done exceptionally well, all-time high. You have micro cap, which is doing very well. Now this was a correction kind of candle, but this was a large shakeout candle. There's no reason why you should not be worried about such kind of candle printing. The fact is you again moved higher, and tough to call such kind of candle, but that's how market works. So you can't be all over the place, or you can't be in every single opportunity which the market throws at you. What you can do is you can have a measured call as far as the market is concerned. So when you look at the broad market per se, a broad market, which is when you go into each of the sectors, I think 7 out of 10 sectors are in positive frame of mind. It's just that Bank Nifty is struggling, and which is causing the overall momentum, which is not adding, or which is putting some bit of pressure on the market. Look at metal consolidation. It's doing all the right things. It's on the cusp of this flag breakout or this long-term cup and handle breakout. So, it's definitely advantage metal, it's advantage IT, uh, advantage pharma, and FMCG. So the tone of the market is looking a little defensive if you were to think of who's leading at this point of time. Obviously, pharma, small cap, micro cap can, while they move up, they look really beautiful, but when they fall like nine pins. So, uh, if you were to think about it this way, that given that we are very near a big event, which is the general elections, and before that we've gone into polls in few of the states, or at least Chhattisgarh is done. So we have to be mindful of the fact that the the news flow from here on would not only be around economic policies, but it would also be to do with the with major sentiment, uh, major influencer of public sentiment at large, and that plays a large role in the way markets behave. Sentiments can turn sour in no time if the current ruling party were to have a bad outing in these state elections, while people understand and definitely realize the fact that the state elections may or may not be a true reflection of what can happen at center, because at center government is doing very different things. But sentiment is sentiment, and it gives opposition a very potent tool to kind of go all out and attack and build on from there. And this is another thing that I was thinking of, is that at this point of time, while opposition came together some 6 8 months back, but they are yet to make any major move in terms of attack on this government. We've not seen a single major party who's come out and spoken, or this alliance which has come out and spoken aggressively about the current government's uh, shortcomings. And 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 all that is they are preparing, and they are preparing strongly, and they're preparing with all their might, and they may come out one of these days and start making those attacks. And one way to think of it is that maybe they want to see what is happening in state election, and accordingly kind of sharpen their knives at this point of time. And as the state elections results start coming out, they would go all out, piling pressure on the government. So that's another event. So the thought of this event is that, would you want to build position in overextended rallies, or would you want to build in sectors and structures which have consolidated for a period of time? They are showing strength, and there is some bit of global tailwind as well. So that's where IT definitely comes into play. That's where some bit of pharma comes into play, and also it ties up well with the fact that currency is seeing, as we observed last week, currency is looking like it's going to make another move, and the move from current 80 to 83 levels can be another 3 4% depreciation in no time, which means we can quickly see 7 8%. Sorry, from 83 we can quickly move to 84 85 levels in no time. And if that were to happen, it would definitely have some bit of pressure on the overall economy. Oil, which was correcting, has started consolidation, uh, and it closed almost 4% higher yesterday. So let's look at oil to start with, and then we'll go. So where is oil? So oil, which was breaking out and has moved higher, has come down, has tested out this range, and has moved, made a and has broken out. It is well below its 50 DMA. So let us see if oil will start moving higher from here. But if oil also starts moving, then it's a double whammy. So as an importer, we'll have to make payment in dollars, which means as the dollar appreciates, we'll have to pay more. And then the second thing is, if oil prices also goes up, then it's a double whammy that we are talking about. So this is one aspect which definitely one has to keep note of. Let's look at currency as well in the same breath, so that we kind of get both these things out of our equation. Sorry, I don't have currency here. INR. So, for last week after we did this review, we saw some bit of correction, but again we've kind of trying to move higher, and we've kind of tested out the lower end of this range, which is 82, 82, 83 kind of level. So, you know, so it's definitely currency is looking like it's going to fall further, which is INR is going to depreciate further against US dollar. And now let's come to global markets as to what is happening in global markets. Let's look at S&P 500 to start with. S&P 500 is in a beautiful structure. It's taken out 50 DMA in full style, if I were to say so, with big gap open, and it's moved above this downward trend line, and it's definitely it's in a lower low, but it's another some bit of move and will definitely be in a higher high kind of space. Higher higher high while we are still in lower low kind of environment. If it fails here and then starts coming down, then we definitely have a problem. It has stabilized here, so 50 DMA is moving up, it's turning. We'll have to see if it consolidates here. That's when this index can be another place to look at. Nasdaq is doing all the right things. It's moved higher. It's definitely in a great shape. And the breakout is something that we were envisaging. The breakout has played out. Let's look at candles. The candles which got printed this week are not so great. That's what I. So we had a gap open, and then we're just trying to consolidate there. But it's definitely advantage. Look at the build-up which is happening here. It's definitely positive as far as US market is concerned. Uh, Actually, this so what I wanted to draw was maybe let's- so US markets are definitely in good shape, and on back of the fact that Fed came out and they paused, and inflation data is definitely kind of showing some bit of impact of all the tightening that they had done. So inflation has cooled off in US. There's definitely advantage. Definitely advantage US markets. So they are leading, and this is the positive rub-off that I was talking about, which is yet to reflect back in Indian markets as far as IT is concerned. But I think we are definitely in for a positive move out there. If I were to stick my neck out, I think FMCG and tech are two spaces in Indian markets, which and pharma. So these are three spaces which will definitely see some significant build-up from here. Uh, what else do so Dow is again consolidating. This is the resistance line that we are working with. Dow has taken out this is doing beautiful contraction. S&P 500 we have seen, Nasdaq we have seen, Dow we have seen. Let's look at few of the US stocks. So Microsoft is made an all-time high with so much of noise around US going into a recession. Same is the case with Apple. Meta. Now, Meta is some distance away, but look at the beautiful move in Meta. Tesla is going through some bit of stress. Another stock. So we have seen a sharp up move in most of the high quality names in US markets. We spoke about auto in India, which is doing well, and on back of good quality names adding to the look at TVS Motors. It's just keeps moving higher. Where is M&M? Yeah, so sorry. So I was just checking out some of the metal indices along with auto. I'm sorry about that. For a minute, I just forgot that I was in the midst of the review. So coming back to the summary of the review, if you were to look at the markets as we clearly see that there's a clear so the underperforming index is Bank Nifty, and that is causing Nifty to that's put a lid on the Nifty move. But if you look at the other structures, every other index is doing pretty well, right? Within which some of the indices are doing much better, but they are most of these indices are overextended. We've not seen Nifty reality, but look at the way the move has played out. So so I think it's advantage few of these indices and if Bank Nifty kind of just stabilizes here, it's going to be another big move up or a possibility opens up for a big move up. So you have to be aware of that, and within that there are a lot of stocks which are again breaking out. and doing all the right things. So that is something that you have to kind of keep note of and accordingly work with. So with that, I'll kind of come to an with that I'll kind of close this review. And today is a big match. It's a big day for India. So I hope all of us will have a great evening as well. I'm hoping for a very very good match. It should be a good contest rather than one side completely on top of other. That's not what will keep you will be a good outcome to see per se. But we want to see a good match playing out. So with that, I'll come to close of this review session. Have a great day. Have a great Sunday. I sincerely hope and pray that we cross over the line. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.